And we are live. Welcome, everybody. We're discussing the 2014 film Spring today with Patrick of Have Cheetah Will View and Mary Wilson. Um,
The mighty Mary Wilson.
yeah, let's give us your like sort of overall feelings, first impressions of this film. What'd you think, Mary?
I wasn't sure what was gonna, and it said spring, and I was thinking spring or more like midsummer type movie. I was thinking it was gonna be not a nice little romance.
Yeah,
Romance. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, when you said that you wanted to do this one and it wasn't either Shutter or IFC, I was pretty curious to see. Okay, this is the first time we've gone off track for this. So I knew this movie must have some meaning for you, Ben. You know, you must have really liked it quite a bit to suggest it. So I was curious. I'm like, yeah, let's go for the ride. And I I too like this movie. I actually thought it was a beautiful movie. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah,
What scenery makes you want to go to Italy right now?
yeah. That's sort of how I felt. I thought the city was really beautiful.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I like
It,
this movie. I saw it like a long time ago. These filmmakers, it's like a directing duo. They did Resolution and The Endless as well. Have you seen those movies?
haven't seen either one of those.
Both good movies. Resolution was super low budget, like independent film, and then The Endless was a bigger budget that was in the same universe as Resolution. Surprisingly, it wasn't like billed as a sequel, but it was sort of like a sequel, which was kind of cool. But yeah, I saw Spring, and Spring's a movie just like I never hear people talk about. I like movies that are sort of genre bending, and I recommend this movie to people, regularly, and no one ever watches it. So that's why I made you guys watch it.
Oh my gosh, no. But isn't
Tell
that
it
our
you.
but isn't that our calling card anyway with the ISC Midnight?
Yeah,
Aren't we the ones bringing all the movies? Though there is one guy out there, Rusty. He is a ISC fanatic too. I mean, he's been doing a lot of reviews lately. I've been hanging over his channel. He's a potential knight. I'm telling you. I might have to ask him to come out hang out with us in January. But he does a lot of movies. But we're like the only ones that are doing this. Bringing
We're
these type of movies.
insane.
Yes, we're crazy. But that's
Crazy.
what I love it, Ben. I mean, this is the whole thing behind doing this show here.
It seems like
Was
it
to
would be
talk
an
about.
IFC movie or a Shutter
It
movie. That
does.
like
It does.
it's right in
Um,
yeah,
there.
it's got that sensibility about it, you know.
Yeah.
I I sort of got the Stuart Gordon vibe with this. The same thing with Dagon, which is a great movie too that no one talks about. But it
That is a
sort of
good one.
had yes, it sort of had that Lovecraft. If Lovecraft wrote a romantic story,
Yeah,
and
the scenery,
I
the scenery, like for Dagon, was kind of similar in that it was like a small town, like seaside town, um, as well. I sort of see it, except the Dagon was quite a bit more sinister, really.
it was.
Yeah,
It was, but the creature and the water and the
yeah,
transformation. I mean, it was like, but yes, but this is not a. I mean, it's billed as a romantic horror. I I guess there's elements of horror in there, especially with the kitty. Uh, but overall, though, I thought this was like a romantic film. I thought it was very well done and very well acted, and yeah, I was very pleased with it.
yeah. It definitely has horror elements. Um, I think there's like a pretty like a shift that happens where then it just sort of abandons the horror and sort of goes in a different direction. But like, um, up through like the first and second act, you're sort of like curious about where it's heading. It's mysterious. There's like weird transformations that don't make much sense, like, with each other. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Yeah, we meet the our protagonist, Evan, who is sitting at his mom's deathbed, basically, and she passes away of cancer. That was a pretty crazy scene because, like, he waited for her to pass away before he told her, like, how he was feeling, and, like, like, I was like, dude, what a wasted opportunity. Like, you should have said that while she was still around.
It also
I,
has
I,
the IFC feel to it because there is a lot of IFC films that have someone that's died of cancer, like Late Night with the Devil, and can't think. What's that one where they find the kids to give him a new kidney, or was he not? He wasn't sick.
the harvest.
Yeah, there was a lot of ones that had cancer, and it's like, it seems like IFC. I can't believe it's not.
Yeah. Draft House released this, and that's interesting for me. And XYZ is a good
I like XYZ.
I think you're right, though, because I also know too, when I was doing my research, it also have Film Buff involved in it. I do believe that Film Buff is part of AMC. I have a few.
That's why it was so good.
Yeah, I do believe it is part of AMC, and but it did have that vibe. And as far as him doing with his mom, I just think, I mean, I can only go with just me, but you always think you have more time.
Yeah.
You always think you have that extra minute until you don't. And he had been taking care of his mom for 2 years because he tells tells Louise that he had quit college and came home, because his mom got sick for 2 years. So he thought he probably had more time. And yeah, good scene though. I mean,
yeah.
Very, very moving, and you felt really bad for him because he just did, you seemed like a good guy.
And his buddy takes him to the bar afterwards, and he's a good friend now too.
Yeah, they go to the bar, get into a little bit of a scuffle with some wannabe gangster dude, and Evan basically realizes, like, there's not too much for him there right now. Like he should just get away. And so there's a scene.
I don't know how he picked Italy though. What a pick! What a nice pick.
Well, he was talking to the person selling tickets just randomly, like, well, where should I go? So it was sort of just like a random chance that he ended up there.
I got to tell you one thing though. Evan had a hell of a right hand, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He knocked that guy. I was surprised he still had enough. I'm surprised he still was able to to follow him home and still talk trash after losing 4 teeth. Of course, the cops come to talk to him. Probably inspired him to exit stage left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he like has a little bit of an inheritance apparently, and like freedom, no job, no. I guess he had it. He did have a job, but not like a career. So he just basically
he lost it at the bar since he got a fight at the bar, I guess.
Yeah, he basically just got out at Dodge, winds up in Italy, and meets up with a couple of British douchebags. But they were sort of like
if they're all right though.
Yeah, they were friendly enough.
Yeah. Sort of remind me of Gareth and Ricky from here on YouTube. That's what it made me laugh. Those guys, I'm like, that would be those two too. Cutting it up.
And they basically, like, he tags along with them because he doesn't really have any plan. He just sort of floats along, follows the path of least resistance, and ends up in that village. And yeah, like, I don't know, after a day or two, they're like, we're splitting to go here, and he's like, okay, later. He like doesn't go with them. Yeah, so he just decides to stick around there.
Didn't he catch a glimpse of her too, though?
He did catch a glimpse of her, yeah.
Like he's like
Mhm.
And
love at first sight.
he caught a glimpse of her, and then he saw her again later at the bar when he was with those two dudes, and he sort of like shoots his shot, but is hesitant to, go home with her or whatever.
Mm.
Um, what'd you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, that was a nice reversal, wasn't it? I mean, the
Yeah,
girl was pursuing him, and he's going like, "Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I don't really know you. Can we set up a proper date?"
yeah.
She's like, that was a nice twist.
Well, he thought maybe she was like a prostitute or trying to like scam him out of money or something because she was so. Well, she did kind of a 180 too, right? Like, wasn't she kind of dismissive of him a little at first
Yeah,
when he was talking to her, and then she was like, "Okay, well, fuck it, let's go, fuck," you know?
Yeah, right. It's like, woo.
right.
Uh,
I was just sort of surprised that he would, the girls offering him a, chance to come over to her house, and him being a, I don't, I mean, if I was a single dude, I would be, 20 years old, 25 years old or whatever age he was. I mean, I'd be, yeah, he'd probably, probably go chase after it, but he was a little bit cautious, I think.
Yeah, well, it was like uncharacteristic, I think, right? Sort of
Yeah.
way
Well,
it happens. So, like,
though, I mean, it's really different when a woman comes up to you, to a man, and starts asking, and basically is, the one who gets the ball rolling. Most of the time it's always guys going up to girls and start conversations with them, and I think men are always they're never prepared when it comes back around. When a woman comes to them and starts talking to them and saying, "Hey, what are you doing? Where are you from?" and all that. I think as a whole, I think men are rather intimidated by that.
hmm, I've been on the receiving end of that before. I wasn't really intimidated per
I was
se.
flattered. I was
It is,
flattered, but I was sitting there going, like, looking over my shoulder, like, is she talking to somebody behind me? Because because it never happens to me.
yeah. I mean, stereotypically, it's the other way around, but um, you know, who knows? He's the Italian culture. They're more aggressive over there. So
Mhm.
life is short.
she refuses to start a date with him, though, right? And they sort of like
Right.
call it
I
a
think they
night.
went
Like
to a museum or something and looked around.
that was. I don't think that was that day though. That was another
No,
time I
no,
met up with her.
yeah.
So that night, basically, like the British guys leave and he's there all by his lonesome. And he does bump into her again, and yeah, they go hit up the museum where we learned that she was the subject of some of the paintings. Later, we learned this. Um, what did you guys think about how their sort of like relationship played out, like how it
I was
started?
actually, I was actually surprised he didn't catch the pictures. I'm surprised he didn't catch the resemblance. I mean, if you look at it and look at her, it's a spitting image.
Well, one of
I
them
was
looked like her, but the other ones looked like other people because they're
slightly older.
other
Well,
people.
because she looks different every time she goes through her cycle. Like she doesn't stay the same person.
Well, she looked the same on the book.
When she was fat or when she had different color eyes, but there was
He
other
always
times
has different
she
colored
didn't.
eyes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's the only thing that remains, like as far as because her whole genetic makeup shifts when she absorbs her newborn or whatever.
I'm just, I'm just, I don't, I'm just, just go, I'm just thinking, like, so, like, she does that with the DNA, and I'm just wondering if, after she killed the cat, would she go from a tabby to an orange? When when she regenerated.
If she's
But
vicious, yes.
yeah, she was like she could tell that she was like she found the killing distasteful, but it was like a thing that she had to do, right? That's the
Yeah,
feeling I got
Yeah.
because
that's
she
the
was
feeling I
sad
got
about
too.
her bunnies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sarah and something.
Bob, Sally, and Bob.
Did she eat them both or just the one?
Yeah, she ate them
Oh.
both.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Cat don't like that.
No. Yeah, neither did mine.
He got up and moved on that one.
I think like. Sorry, go on.
No. Go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, I think like I watched this sort of like earlier in the month, so it's not as fresh as it normally is. But I believe like they basically hook up after that, right? They have like encounter.
Yes.
And then after that, she kills the cat.
Yes.
Right. Well, what's important is that when they got together for the first time, because it was funny because it's like when he was in the States and he met Jackie, the sympathy fuck. Yeah. Sorry, Augie. But and the first thing she said to him was, "Do you have a condom?" So he went to get a condom, and then when him and Louise got together, he got the condom. He remembered that, and then Louise took it, and we see her throw it away.
Yeah.
It was like that was that's what I think that's probably when you first knew that something was a little bit different. Because it's like, well, okay, now why would she do that? I mean, why would she throw that away? She doesn't really know who this guy is, and it was like the first tiny little red flag, like something quite wasn't right here.
Well, that and her skin was going crazy while he was sleeping after they had sex. Her skin looked like she was a zombie.
Yeah, that's when she came out, and it was weird. Is that form that she was in? It looked insect.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like their transformations were not consistent. So when you're watching it, you don't know, oh, is she like a werewolf or is she like something,
Yeah, she was changed into a werewolf at one time.
Mm-hmm. And then she changed into an octopus on another.
Yeah.
Weird. Great effects, though. Great practical effects.
Yeah, and I think that keeps you sort of guessing. Like you realize there's something going on with her, but you don't know what it is. You don't know if she like what her intentions are, because we know that she will kill, and she does also kill humans in the movie. But like, you don't know what her sort of intentions are with Evan, right?
Yeah, is she gonna eat him?
But and I think maybe in like when she first hooks up with him, and she basically, we learn that she's using him for his genetic material or whatever, right? She's like that's part of her cycle that she has, and like so we get
that the farmer's tree has an orange and a lemon. Because he's like an old tree combined with the new tree. So I guess that's what she's doing with the baby.
Yeah, when he decides to stick around that town for a while, he goes and gets a job working on the farm with this old dude.
Angelo.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked like a nice sort of simple life. What do you guys think of?
Yeah, I dug it.
When I was watching this movie the first time, I was like, I could go to Italy and become a farmer and be happy. It's beautiful there, and like,
For sure. Grow some olives.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember the farmer's name, but he was an interesting, like, old wise character who was like sort of like, short of words, but made a statement every time he sort of like spoke.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He would teach him stuff.
Yeah, he was almost like a grandfather type.
Yeah. What he was missing.
Yeah. So like, let's see. At some point, basically, what was her name? Louise.
Louise.
Yeah. they see like some American douche tourists who are like, wearing like American flag shorts and like being super loud and just like douchey. They're like frat boys, sort of.
ugly, ugly Americans.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's like the sort of stereotype of Americans in Europe, if that's a real thing. Maybe it is. Probably is.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it is. I mean, most of the people I talk to who, they say when they see Americans, especially parties like that, they're loud and obnoxious, and they want their way always.
Yeah, those guys were loud and obnoxious. One of them approaches Louise and tries to like, proposition her because he thinks she's a prostitute or something. But she is
she's having an episode.
She's in the throes of one of her episodes, and he's like a fucking little rapist or something. Yeah. Like true to his frat boy, whatever. But he gets murdered for his actions, right?
I think she only eats that part though, doesn't she? Like in that area, it seems to be the only part ripped over or off when they find him on the rock.
Because she threw she morphed into like a werewolf creature, and then took what she needed and then threw his body onto that rock, or swam out there and put it out there. Didn't see how, but we did see, and then you could hear the bells ringing in town because they spotted the dead body.
She slammed him against the wall.
Yeah, you see the blood stain against the wall. Yeah.
On the wall.
Didn't grieve for that guy at all. Just like wasn't like like poor dude. It was like, yeah, good riddance.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that guy was a douche.
Yeah, he's definitely a pain in the neck.
Yeah. So they basically, now she feels like there's cops investigating, and so she's like on edge. And also Evan, like cops go to the farm and he thinks he's like in trouble with immigration for staying too long or whatever.
Yeah, Angela tells him.
Which he probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, it's just bad. And he goes, should I run? And Angela goes, see. Then you see him run like a bat out of hell. So
he sure did.
That was, yeah, and this movie came out in 2014, so just sort of like foreshadowing today. It was like when I saw that, I started laughing at that scene because I'm going like, wow, if they only knew, or maybe they did know that this is probably what's happening today. People are.
But he was like not even there for very long. Like he still had like his hand from the punching the dude was still fucked up. Like, so it would be weird that immigration was like, dude, you've been here 3 days. Like your visa's expired or whatever. It seemed weird.
Vacation. Jesus.
But either way, he was. They're both sort of felt like they were wanted, so they were, sort of partners in crime in that sense. But he comes to visit her one night. Actually, does she like gives him like
she breaks up with him right before that, but then he like the immigration was looking for him, but I think he went back to her joint.
Right, he had no place.
That's when he found her being like an octopus on the floor.
Yeah, he's clearly like really like into her, and she is a little more standoffish. Breaks up with him, but is seems a little conflicted about it. She's not like, get out here, you fucking dick. She's just like, I'm sorry, but this isn't gonna work.
Right.
But yeah, he comes back and he sees her in a weird condition. And earlier in the movie, he did see like syringes and stuff, and he like asked her about them. Like, are you
before he went out with her, he wanted to know about the syringes. Like, are you drug addict? And because he didn't want to get involved with that, but he did see it, and he had to ask. I mean, I think anybody in his situation,
especially if she's throwing condoms away. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's mysterious because it was just like a smiley face on his syringe, right? Like that's pretty mysterious.
Well, I think she worked at a hospital or some sort of clinic where she was able to get that. I think where she was able to get those that that cord blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the stem cells. That's what she worked at.
Right.
And she was working there. They showed her working and with a client. The client's like, man, what stinks in here so bad? And that's where she turns around. In fact, that's what leads her to kill the tourists. Is that she is she's failing again. So she goes home. She gathers all her supplies and she heads back to that little area so she could do her spell or whatever. And then that's when the tourists found her. But when her body started degrading, it's caused a terrible stench. But that she worked there because that's where she got her. I think that's where she got her temporary fix. Until she was able to transform.
Yeah, and she also, like, earlier in the film when she's telling him, like, oh, she's a grad student, right? She's like doing research for her degree or whatever, and she mentions a number of times, like, magic is just like science, that hasn't been discovered yet or whatever. And that's sort of like an ongoing theme throughout a little bit, right? So it's like there's like mystical things happening, but she's like very grounded and saying like, oh, there's scientific explanations for everything. And she does sort of scientifically explain it in some senses, but there's still pretty mystical in some ways, right?
Exactly.
Right, because she needs oxytocin or something to be happy. She has to be happy because she absorbs her baby, and then when she does that, she might stay the same, or she might change into all these. Like, would she become an octopus then? Like,
yeah, because she had the elements of an insect, of a werewolf or a wolf, and the octopus. So she could, you just don't know what she. I think, you don't know what causes it, and like, you can't sit there and say the stage. First she was stage to an insect. The longer she changed, longer she was in the change, she'd go from an insect to a werewolf to an octopus. We just don't know.
Two together.
It's just the fact that she's able to change to different creatures. It's fucking amazing, actually.
And then also, like, just she's releasing pheromones, so like when she walks by stuff, flowers bloom and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Which I thought was an interesting wrinkle that wasn't exactly followed up super hard, but we'll get to that a little later, I guess. But yeah, he basically stumbles in on her in a very precarious situation, clearly in distress, and also very clearly experiencing some, non-regular mutation situation. And he injects her with the syringe that he finds. Like, I guess she just couldn't get to it in time or something.
Right.
And so clearly he now.
But we have to, if you don't mind, we were talking about practical effects earlier, but man, this is the scene of the movie as far as that goes, and holy shit, that was amazing.
Yeah,
He looked amazing. That was cool as hell. Those prosthetics.
I thought this movie, I believe, was, I don't know what the budget was, but it was a pretty independent film. But it was like really beautifully shot and put together, and it looked really good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like it looked bigger than its budget, basically.
Definitely. I agree with you. Yep.
But so now the sort of cat's out of the bag, so to speak, and like he's got to discuss with her, like, what the fuck is this about?
He's like, explain this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to hear this. I was surprised she actually stayed for it. I thought maybe he's a sticker and then run like hell. Like hell no.
Well, he at this point is in love with her.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, honestly, you'd be curious as fuck. Like, what, what the hell is this even? So she basically breaks down the truth, right? And so we find out that she's like this super old creature who's like was the subject of all the paintings in that exhibit, and she just has this cycle where she basically every however many 20 years
20,
or something. How long was it?
20.
20 years.
Yeah, every 20 years.
If you think about that, every 20 years she changes, and she's been around since 2000. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, you would think someone would have caught her way before today, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you turn into a creature and not a human shape.
But also, like, if she like changes her whole appearance like every 20 years, like, okay, well, some shit happens, but she's, how are they gonna hunt her down, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like her fingerprints would change and her DNA would change.
Yep.
She'd like be the perfect assassin.
Yeah, and she kills.
Yep.
Like, throughout the movie, never got caught. But yeah, she basically, we find that she gets pregnant, and then her body absorbs that embryo, and so that changes her genetic makeup, and then the cycle begins again. Another 20 years, she'll do the same thing.
Right.
And she has to get pregnant, right?
Yeah.
She can't just absorb a person. She has to have the baby and absorb it.
Yep. And she also reveals that if she falls in love, the hormones will stop the process of her cycle, basically. And then she'll just become human and live out the rest of her life. Which was sort of interesting because, like, it's not a choice that she can actually make. You know what I mean? It's like it's just like a biological function of like how she's feeling. So it's not like, oh, she could be like, oh, I love you, I'm going to choose to do this and spend my life with you. She has to, like, it's just basically like, happens if she is feeling this, and yeah, she releases the oxytocin or whatever.
You hope.
Yeah, see, that part there was probably a little something I think they could have beefed up a little bit. Like, if I fall in love, I'll change. I won't change. I mean, what's it? How does she know if she's in love, or if it's just an infatuation or just a crush? It's not true love. It's not like she's asleep and Prince Charming comes in and kisses her and wakes her up. It's like, how does that? I just thought that part was. I think she should have just said that just as to comfort him, but knowing full well that she was going to change regardless. The only way that she could stop it was to take some sort of chemical blocker or some sort of medicine to block her change. But I just can't see her. I mean, 2,000 years again. You try to tell me in all that time she never fell in love, not even once, and then meets this guy in 5 days and supposedly head over heels? Yeah, I'm not buying that.
I mean, you have to suspend a little disbelief. She is like this fucking ancient creature. Like, I think if you accept her being like this ancient creature with this weird fucking, 2,000-year-old history, like, you have to accept a few things. Like, honestly, there'd be no way for her to be like, oh yeah, and I happen to know that if I were to fall in love, then I would, like, how would she know that?
Right.
I think I just felt like she said that for his benefit. Like this, to give him some sort of hope, some sort of, even though she knows there really isn't, but it's still to comfort him, to bring him comfort, knowing that, hey, if I fall in love with you, this could happen. And, it's like, but she tells him, she also tells at the same time, it's like, I don't want to die. So she feels like she's fallen in love with you. That's gonna end up becoming resentment because she doesn't want to fall in love with you because she doesn't want to die.
Yeah, but they have a baby now. Is that baby gonna be able to do what she did?
I think all the knowledge that she got I think that all transferred with her. It's not like I think she was reborn, then had to relearn everything. I think that whatever she learned,
No,
she carried that with her.
I think her
herself.
consciousness was the same the whole time through, right?
The what?
Her consciousness was the same.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
That's what I
so.
yeah.
But then if she didn't change and she stayed the same, that would make her still pregnant.
Yes.
So would the baby be like her and every 20 years would have this issue?
Well, they talked
Carry
about
that
that.
up.
Remember when they talked about that, about her changing, and he even said that, if she transformed, and and he's around, it would be incest in a sense, like, because that's going to be born probably a girl, probably be, and they didn't specify that either. They didn't specify, like, if that's the case, as if she was going to turn into a woman or a man with the birth. I mean, they didn't actually address that, so we don't know if she actually was going to become a female again, or what if he turns into a male. It's sort of
Well,
like it's sort of.
she didn't change. Her time was up, and she didn't change.
But what would she be reborn as, a woman or a man?
I don't know.
I feel
They,
like
see, they didn't,
they didn't really say, but then also I think it was implied it like with all the historical imagery of her as always a female,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a female. But yeah, I mean, she's like skeptical of the fact that he's just feeling like he thinks he loves her because of the pheromones that she's producing that are making flowers bloom and stuff. So like, why would she have faith that if she fell in love with him, that he would still love her or whatever, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
her pheromones would quit being like all like mystical and shit, you know. But I thought that was like pretty an interesting thing to consider. Like his infatuation with her might just be because of like she's reaching the end of her cycle. So like, if she does do her like little like does not have her metamorphosis, is he still gonna are they actually like the soulmate couple or whatever? Like,
oh god, I mean, if she didn't change, I guess they would just live out a normal life. If she, yes, if she was able to stop it, biologically, I guess, but I I didn't I don't believe that she stopped. I believe that she continued to deform. I think he held her, and she told the story about how, the volcano had killed her family, and she brought him to where her family was. And and it was sort of interesting seeing how they're on the beach, they're talking, and she's laying there, and you hear some noise, and then you see the volcano. But it's not like she fell asleep the next morning. Was she has she transformed or not? I mean, we don't know. The ending's so wide open. But I didn't believe that she stopped. I believe that she kept. I think she changed again.
I felt like she stopped.
I thought she stayed the same
Yeah,
girl
she like stayed the same.
because he smiled down at her. He was holding her hand. You could hear all that slimy noise going on in the background.
Yeah.
She was changing, but nothing changed.
Yeah, I mean that's the impression I got, but
Or that was the new creature being born, and and he was holding on to the because we don't know. That's another thing they didn't address either, was what happens to the body after she changes. I mean, does she just? I mean, is she coming out as an adult, or is she coming out? And what happens to the old body? How long does it live for after the change? Does she?
I get the
Does she have? Go
I
ahead.
got the feeling that it was a transformation that she had. So like her body that she currently has transforms into like the new genetic, mashup of her and her embryo or whatever. Because like all the other metamorphoses, it wasn't like she changed into an octopus creature and then her body was over like on the couch or something, right? I mean, it was just like her body changing.
Yeah. I guess this is I guess you can almost call this, it does have horror elements to it, but I definitely think if you really think about it, I think this sort of has more of like a sci-fi vibe to it, Um,
Yeah, it's got some
yeah,
sci-fi
definitely.
horror.
I'm thinking about that movie called Splice.
Yeah.
Uh, hey,
Hobbs and
Hobbs is here.
what's up,
Hobbs,
Hobbs?
Hobbs is here.
Yeah, I like Splice. No one ever talks about that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. We probably have to cover that out. I don't think it's Shutter though. I think that came out. I know it's not IFC, but I'm not sure who put that out.
Maybe they're playing it on Shutter.
I mean, it was way before Shutter was a thing. That came out in like the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
I just remember I remember Adrian Brody was in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like this was the way I felt at the end of this movie is that it was like a romance story and they like ended up with each other. That's how I felt.
Yes. It was very nice. Except for the kitty killing and whatnot. Yeah. It had a good romance in there.
God, yeah.
She's gotta eat. She's gotta eat.
Pop says Splice is okay. Has some weird moments. Mike Brody bumping uglies with an alien.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Her
that's
eyes
right.
are like, yay.
Yeah, and like there was like that transformation at the end too.
Right.
Which kind of like I mean, I like that movie. But yeah, like I feel like that was an interesting wrinkle. I haven't watched that one in a long time, so should probably watch that at some point.
Isn't that the girl from Split in it?
Maybe.
I think is it a Sarah Polley?
The
I
actress?
think it's Sarah Polley from Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, is it?
I think so. Hey, Jen.
Jen in the house. Hey, Jen. Everybody, all 3 or 4 of you that are watching this, go subscribe to her new channel. I was sad to see that her old channel went away, but I was glad that she's revived it. Jen, have you seen this movie, Spring?
I haven't. You're right, but I've never heard anybody mention this. And I was thinking about Steven's interview, and he never touched upon it either with Lou. He didn't touch on it at all.
Well, the Gorge is a romantic comedy too.
The what?
Like romantic.
What's it called?
Horror, romantic horror. I mean, The Gorge.
Oh, right.
Romance
I
horror.
remember. Yeah, but I don't think that came out on physical media though. I don't think.
No.
I think isn't that a Netflix movie?
I don't know. You can get Stranger Things on DVD.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw they released the I didn't even hear a word about the 3rd and the 4th season being released. I got the first 2. But I never heard a word about the other 2 being released on physical. No one mentioned it in our little area, so I was like surprised when I saw that. Stranger Things, 1 through 4 is now for sale. I'm like, well, when did that happen? I remember they sold the first season at a Target for $10. And so I bought the first season, and then that was
Right,
it
it looks
for
like
the
a
longest.
VCR tape or something.
Right.
Yeah, I got that
And
one too.
that was the last I heard of it, and then all of a sudden, pow! The second season popped up over at the library, and someone had donated it brand spanking new, so I picked that up. Yeah,
The new one's coming out Wednesday. The new
right.
season.
Yeah, I just
Hobbs was mentioning about Steven getting married. Yeah, he went to the Philippines. Yeah, he was actually sending posts. He I guess he lived through that hurricane they had.
Ooh.
That was a nasty looking one too. Super, they called it a super typhoon. Jen says, "Thanks, you guys. Yes, I have looked at this film as a dissection of all relationships, ambiguity, and certainly a romantic love. Do I really love this person? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could. I guess it's a commentary of how fast or how what is love and how fast does it affect us?
yeah.
In one
I thought that
sense,
was I sort of agree. That's kind of what I was getting at with like the she thinks or like she doesn't know if her weird like end of cycle pheromones are what's making him love her. So like for her to like fall in love with him, is it's dangerous for her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
yeah.
not a certain thing, but then of course relationships are never a certain thing. So
Well, and we obviously saw too being like at the end of her cycle, at the end of that her abilities become weaker. Becomes harder for her to maintain her form. She needs to. She need. She's. It's almost like it's like any other. I mean, it's like any other. Like a short-lived species. It has a finite amount of time, and then it breaks down toward the end. And I think if he had met her right after she had formed, I don't think it would have been a problem for her. As far as not falling in love with him or controlling her pheromones. But I think because she was, and she's desperate too, and we don't know exactly how many times, how many men does she go to bed with? We don't know that either. Because I'm sure, because she was getting toward the end of her cycle, and it wasn't just, and that's the reason why she chased after him because she needed someone. She needed someone now. She couldn't afford to sit there and wait.
yeah. Yeah, overall, I felt like they ended up together to like forge a relationship together at the end. But
I see. I hadn't
I guess
heard
you're
other.
just a cynic, Patrick.
Hmm?
You're just a cynic, I guess. Feeling
No,
like
I'm a tremendous believer in love. You know, I, but I met my soulmate, so yeah, my time is over. As far as that goes. But you're right. It could be me seeing it through my eyes. You're right. That's a fair assessment. I don't think I'm cynical at
yeah,
all. I'm a tremendous believer in love. I celebrate it. When if you told me tomorrow you're getting married, I'd be the happiest guy on the planet for you. Uh, but I'm just trying to stay within the context of the film. It raises a lot of interesting questions.
yeah,
And hats off to the actors too, because I've seen Lou around before. I have never seen the girl who played Louise, and she was very charming. I
Walking
thought.
yeah.
Dead or something. I think she was on Walking Dead for a little while.
Was she?
I think so. Like the later seasons.
Hold on, I'm pulling up her Wikipedia. She was in the Divergent series or some such shit.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, she played Magna for 4 years on The Walking Dead.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Who the fuck was Magna?
The hot one.
Did you say hot one?
Yeah.
From magma?
Yeah.
Like a volcano.
Yes. Right.
See, Hobbs
Oh
is
yeah.
singing. Hobbs is singing. What is love? He's doing some Hadaway for us.
Yeah.
That's right. See, so Splice confirmed is a Dark Castle motion picture. Motion picture. You killed me with that. I didn't know Dark Castle did that. That's awesome. That's the same people who did Ghost Ship and 13 Ghosts, and they did a lot of releases. Wow. Okay. But I
That's
still
some
think
good.
it's Sarah Polley. I think it was Sarah Polley, right?
It
That
was Sarah
co-starred
Polley.
in that movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, she did. She did the Dawn of the Dead remake. She was the nurse.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
It's been a long ass time since I've seen that. 2000
yeah.
Which one?
Splice.
Splice.
Oh, the. Okay. I know which one you're talking about.
Ben,
Yeah.
you picked another winner, man.
Yeah, I like this movie.
You know, it's funny. It's funny too, and I wanted to mention this to you. I'm not sure if I mentioned these last or not, but this past month, man, or last month and a half or so, I have seen so many people cover the kill list. I've seen a lot of people are out there talking about it, and I'm going like, Ben was the one that's talking about that movie, and everybody's talking. Nobody really talks. It kills me when I hear this. Like, it kills me when someone brings up an IFC movie and say, "Wow, you don't hear anybody talking about this," and I'm going like, "That's because you're not over here at the IFC Midnights, baby. We got
Yeah.
you covered." But yeah, a lot of people are talking about the kill list now.
It's a really good movie. It's always
Hell
like
yeah.
the one thing about that movie is like I watched it one time and I was bored as shit and I'm not really a fan. And then I watched it again, like I don't know, a long ass time later, and I was like, dude, this movie is like amazing. What the fuck was that guy thinking? So this that movie always reminds me to like, it's not a bad idea to give a movie a second chance, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I rewatched Z, the movie that me and Mary covered, and I rewatched that to review. And man, oh man, there's a lot of things in it that I didn't catch the first time around. And man, I just elevated that movie for me. That movie is really good, really interesting. I still think it definitely has two writers, and it definitely could tell when one switched. When one person wrote up to this area and then it's handed it off to the second writer and he took off with it, you could definitely see that. Physically, you can see that. It's a very cool movie.
What would you guys let's get a rating from this one. What would you guys rate this one? Mary, what about you?
I always seem to say the same thing, but it's pretty much around, I don't know, 7.5 to 8 is always. I do like it. I definitely like it. Who do you think? He gives it an 8.
I would go with an 8 too, Mary.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think this movie had a lot to say, and I like the chemistry between the two leads.
Yeah, I go 8.5 on it. I like the mysterious unfolding of like the story, and I love the general setting, and
That's beautiful.
yeah. So I go pretty high, and I like that it sort of it's the sort of a genre bender, you know, not your typical horror / romance film, I guess. What is what's the next movie that we're going to be talking about?
Haunter.
Which one?
Haunter. With Abigail Breslin. It's on Tubi right now.
It's Abigail Breslin, and also our mascot here on the Midnights.
The guy from
Stephen McCaddy will be here with us again next month.
That's it.
He has been with us for Haunter and for Z and also for Pontypool.
He must have an agent that gets him IFC gigs.
Yes, he has done. He is actually. He is very. Yeah. No, we have not done ATM yet.
Ooh,
but Yeah, that's a good one. It's supposed to be a very good one too.
So next,
So yeah, this came out in 2013, and
13?
this is a keeper.
the
Yeah,
next month is going to be tricky. Last Sunday of next month, I think, just because with the
we're gonna
holidays and
do the
stuff.
20. We're gonna do the 21st of December.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna skip the holidays. We're not gonna do that. Put everybody in that. So we just thought we'd just go ahead and do the 21st of December.
I don't know what my family's plans are yet. Like we are not Christians, so like I'm not sure exactly how it's all going to shake out this year. But I know
We'll invite them to come onto the show. Hell, we'll take them on.
I watch horror movies with my nephews. That's our tradition now.
Nice.
There you go.
Terrifier, the last Terrifier.
Dude, we went to Halloween Horror Nights. I flew them out from Hawaii, and we went down to Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood and stayed and did that with them. It was really fun.
Hey Doc, how are you? Ben, have you met Doc Kaiju?
No, but he subscribed to me and I subscribed back.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He does a lot of Godzilla and Kaiju movies as well.
Nice.
And he's a fan of Gigan, of our boy.
I mean, how can you not be?
Yeah, that's right. How far along are you with him? Is he going to be come to life pretty soon?
I have not touched that fucking thing, dude. I've been just playing so much catch up since the accident at work. Like, I finally am sort of caught up, but I have like a few personal projects. So I just I have like this giant Gigan figure that's just sitting in pieces, and it actually is going to end up being more work than I had anticipated to get it like together and painted and stuff because I got to do a bunch of filling in.
It's Freddy Krueger. He's a silhouette. Oh, okay. I never put him outside this year though. He's supposed to have a flashlight shown on him, and he makes a huge shadow. It looked good outside, but I didn't have any walls that didn't have like plants or something hanging on the wall, so I couldn't use it this year. What are you guys gonna be doing for Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I'm hopefully the Subway will drop coupons so I can go get tuna fish.
Tuna fish
for Thanksgiving.
I'm going to Sacramento, spend it with the parents and cousins and uncle, girlfriend.
Nice. Let you guys know, man. Let you guys know too, man. A lot of our past episodes on the show, they're finding the eyeballs. The Nightingale just recently passed 1,000 views, and the Den Hoss's movie. Yeah, that movie got a lot of love recently, and it's closing up to 600 views. So we're plugging away still. That's for sure.
Not the autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah, we do, but it's not as climbing as it should. I'll see if what I can do. So I'll push them. We'll push them.
I like that
chairs
one.
Out. Oh man, me too. I mean, what's really, that's what I mean. When I read Brian Cox's autobiography, he talked about the autopsy of Jane Doe and how much fun he had doing it. Yeah, Brian Cox. You think that he would never talk about that. Famed Shakespearean actor and everything. But
he's
he
in
talked
Hammer, isn't he? He's in one of the Hammer horror episodes too.
He's in Trick or Treat.
Yeah, he's in Trick or Treat, and he was also in Manhunter. He also did Manhunter.
Yeah.
Let's see. Doc says Gigan is my favorite villain kaiju. Second most is Batra. See? Yep, that's right.
I have a really cool Batra larvae figure.
I just love how we made Gigan into a thing. That's what cracks me up. You think since we're talking about it that Casey would show up?
Watch Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving.
Oh, I still have not gotten that movie.
I like it.
The library never sent it, And I don't know if I could watch my friend get killed in that scene, man. I don't know if I can handle that. But it's a very cool story of how she did that, though, how she filmed it.
Where she's in the oven.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's like as soon as I talk to somebody, like, you know, any questions and get to know them a little bit, all of a sudden I just don't want to see them die on screen. It's the weirdest thing, man. I just can't do it. It's like, oh no. I don't know what that is. I literally watched Godzilla versus Gigan today for the first time in a year or so. I have an old Batra Imago Abande. It's pretty. It's very pretty. I'm missing a leg for it. Hell, man, you can probably find a leg for that in a Facebook group.
Oh, you could 3D print that leg.
Oh, well, you know what? Don't you have a 3D printer, Ben?
No, but I, work at a place that has a bunch. But check this guy out.
Look at him. He's
Yeah,
flatsy.
let me blow this up real big and let me put this comment away.
Oh,
Got this rad Batra larva figure.
nice.
It's pretty cool.
Very
It's like
cool.
SH Monster Arts. I have like the the full winged one too, but that fucking SH Monster Arts figure just it's fragile as shit, man. Like everything just falls apart on it. So I never touch it, but this guy's pretty sturdy.
That's neat.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't want to speak for anybody, but maybe there could be a small deal here. How do you 3D print? How do you 3D print stuff, Ben?
Well, that Gigan was 3D scanned with like a
Okay.
laser scanner. And then it was printed using like multi-fusion jet technology. I guess it's like this HP printer printed on a nylon 6 that we have at work.
And how long did it take for you to make Gigan?
Well, it took me a long time to get Gigan. The print was pretty quick, or the process of printing was pretty quick, but it's like, it's a work thing, so it wasn't like a big priority to get that done.
No.
But
Hmm.
let's see. SH Monster Arts are expensive and fragile. That's true. GMK Godzilla is a good one though.
Yeah, you can find the leg on eBay. Yeah. eBay or maybe like I said, the Facebook groups. I mean, I've always had good luck with those. I've done some deals through there, and I've never been burned.
All right, well, guys, I think I got to wrap it up because I got to get to the store before it closes.
Yep, it's your time to go shopping.
I should just stop procrastinating. I put it off till like Sunday night every fucking time, but
yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. So next week, next month we'll be back here on the 21st. In fact, if you want to go over to my channel, I'll be hosting Mary's show. Mary will be leading the conversation. You can go over there and hit the notify me. You can hit the notify me button. It's already up, so you go ahead and do that. So you'll know to come. And when we talk about Haunter, and and yep, and then we'll get ready for another month full of fun. I'm working on what we'll be watching in January, but I'll keep that to myself for a little bit longer, and keep you guys in suspenders. And but it will be a good one. I'll let you know that right now. So thanks again, Ben. This is a great movie, and I had a lot of fun tonight.
Ben?
Yeah. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thanks so much for watching, everybody. And until next time, friendos. It's that time for that awkward moment where I press the button and we wait